Welcome to John Redmann, Power of Attorney, the show that aims to empower you through knowledge of the law. I'm Attorney John Redmann.
And I'm Shauna Sanford. If you have ever been injured or gotten sick on the job, then you may be very familiar with workers' compensation law. Now, these cases often pit employer against employee and are vigorously contested.
Chances are you or someone you know has been affected by workers' comp law or will have to deal with it in the future. That's why we have attorney Mike Whitehead to help us go over the need-to-knows of workers' comp. But first, let's get to the week's legal news.
All right, thank you, John. Well, this presidential election is on record as the most expensive election in American history, with a price tag of more than $6 billion. The amount of money spent is staggering, and it happened as a result of legal decisions that allowed wealthy donors to pour seemingly endless amounts of cash into races around the U.S. And this really stems from the Supreme Court decision concerning Citizens United. John, why don't you fill us in on exactly what that decision was all about?
Citizens United is a case that went all the way to the United States Supreme Court. What the United States Supreme Court said in that decision was the Citizens United group would be authorized to, on behalf of corporations, PACs, political action committee groups across the country, to basically give unlimited amounts of cash on behalf of any candidates, anybody running for any office, and support those candidates anonymously. And that is the reason why, heaven help us, we saw more political ads this political season than ever in the history of any ad campaign. I believe the statistics I saw was 3 times more than any other ad campaign in history. And personally, I believe that anyone should be allowed to give to support any candidate. I'm a big proponent of the First Amendment right of free speech. That means you support any candidate you'd like, but that's too much. And when anonymously, money that you don't even know if it comes from within this country is helping to determine outcomes of elections, it's gone too far, and I hope the legislature changes it.
And that's really the only thing that could happen at this point is for the legislature to step in. But how would they be motivated? Why would they be motivated to do that? It's going to take the public getting involved.
I hope the public outcry is loud and clear. When the Supreme Court closed the door and said that the group, Public Citizen, which opposed unlimited contributions, actually I interviewed the attorney for Public Citizen and James Bopp, the attorney for Citizens United. I also interviewed Public Citizen's representative, Robert Weissman, a few months back. When the Supreme Court said that they would allow this, the window that was left open was the legislature, and I hope the legislature is listening to their constituents and says, that's a no-go.
Okay, well, our next story is another one concerning politics. When you look at the incredible number of people who voted in the election, there's no doubt that people were determined to be involved and make their voices heard, no matter how challenging. But when you look at who voted, quite a bit is revealed about the ever-changing demographics of the United States and where things are headed. Very important, because things are changing.
Well, I think politicians, as well as anyone who's just interested in politics in general, take note. We are a gumbo. It's no longer a black and white voting electorate. Hispanics made up 10% of the voting population. Asian Americans made up a significant portion. Elections are all very close, and so I think politicians need to pay attention and show respect to that voting electorate.
Okay, well, we have to switch gears now, because coming up next, attorney Mike Whitehead will join us to discuss the basics of workers' compensation. So stay with us. We'll be right back.